So I thought I would read a section from this book. The whole section is too long, so I'm just going to read a few paragraphs here and there. But it's chapter 2, the Buddha. Okay? And so one of the questions people asked is, who is the Buddha? And if he's just a human being, how can he help us? So the answer is, there are many ways to describe who the Buddha is. These various perspectives have their sources in the Buddha's teachings. One is as the historical Buddha, a human being who lived 2,500 years ago and who cleansed his mind of all defilements and developed all of his potential. Another, any being who does likewise, is also considered a Buddha, for there are many Buddhas, not just one. Another way is to understand a particular Buddha or Buddhist deity as all the enlightened minds manifesting in a particular physical aspect in order to communicate with us. Okay. Yet another way to see the Buddha or any of the enlightened Buddhist deities as the appearance of the Buddha that we will become once we have completely cleansed our mind of defilements and develop all of our potential. Okay? So then to go through these three, I'll just read a few paragraphs here and there from these sections. So first is the historical Buddha. So the historical Buddha Shakyamuni was born as Prince Siddhartha Gautama in an area near the present border between India and Nepal. He had all that life could offer: material possessions, a loving family, fame, reputation, and power. Soon after his birth, a soothsayer predicted that Siddhartha would become either a great king or a great spiritual leader. Wanting him to be a great political leader, his father protected him from any contact with any unpleasant situations. You know, his dad was my son's not going to be a dropout, and do some spiritual trip. He's going to be a king and be powerful. And so he steered his son in that direction. However, the young Siddhartha sneaked out of the palace, and kind of like we sneaked out of our parents' house, and on his forays in town witnessed first a sick person, then an old person, and finally a corpse. He became disillusioned with things that brought temporary worldly happiness, but did not solve the basic human predicament. On another excursion into town, he saw a wandering ascetic and learned that this person was seeking liberation from the cycle of existence to which he was bound by ignorance and karma. Siddhartha then left his princely life to become an ascetic, searching for truth. After 6 years of severe physical austerity, he realized that extreme self-denial was not the path to ultimate happiness. He gave up his extreme ascetic practices and, sitting under the Bodhi tree near present-day Bodh Gaya, India, he entered into a deep meditation in which he completely purified his mind of all wrong conceptions and defilements and perfected all of his potential and good qualities. He then proceeded to teach with compassion, wisdom, and skill for 45 years. In this way, he enabled others to gradually purify their minds, develop their potential, and attain the same realizations and states of happiness that he had. Thus, the word Buddha means the awakened one who has purified and developed his or her mind completely. So seeing the Buddha as a historical being like that is like a role model for us. Somebody who began like us, was an ordinary being, who went through difficulties, who practiced, and who attained the result that we also seek. So that's one way of seeing the Buddha that can really inspire us. Another way is seeing the Buddhas and the different deities as manifestations. So here it says, the second way to think of the Buddhas is as manifestations of enlightened minds in the physical form of various Buddhas and Buddhist deities. Buddhas are omniscient in that they perceive all existent phenomena as clearly as we see the palm of our hand. They achieve this ability by fully developing their wisdom and compassion and thus eliminating all obscurations. But we cannot communicate directly with the Buddha's omniscient minds because our minds are obscured. For the Buddhas to fulfill their most heartfelt wish to lead all beings to enlightenment, they must communicate with us, and to do so, they assume physical forms. In this way, we can think of Shakyamuni Buddha as a being who was already enlightened and who appeared in the aspect of a prince in order to teach us. Okay? And so, similarly, we think of the Buddhist deities as appearances or manifestations of enlightened qualities. So we dwell on the aspect of the Buddha's qualities and then thinking, how would those qualities appear in a physical form in order to communicate with us? And there we have the various deities. Chenrezig, communicating compassion with 1,000 arms, reaching out. Okay, Manjushri communicating wisdom with the sword that cuts misconceptions and defilements. Okay, Tara communicating enlightened activity with her green color and her leg extended out into the world, stepping in to help, and at the same time one leg tucked in, so showing that she's keeping herself completely balanced in that process. Okay? Then the third way to see the Buddha is as the Buddha that we will become. So it says, the third way to understand the Buddha is as the appearance of our own Buddha nature in its fully developed form. All beings have the potential to become Buddhas, for all of our minds are innately pure. Okay? The ultimate nature of our mind is undefiled. At present, our minds are clouded by disturbing attitudes and negative emotions and contaminated actions. Through constant practice, we can remove these defilements from our mind streams and nourish the seeds of our beautiful potentials. Thus, each of us can become a Buddha when this process of purification and growth is complete. This is a unique feature of Buddhism, for most other religions say an unbridgeable gap exists between the divine being and the human being. However, the Buddha said that each being has the potential to become fully enlightened. It is only a matter of practicing the path and creating the causes to reach enlightenment. Thus, there are many beings who have already become Buddhas, and we can become one as well. So then when we think of the Buddha is reflecting the future Buddha we're going to become. When we meditate on the deities, the Buddhist deities, they are the manifestations of our fully purified Buddha nature when we've become fully awakened and appeared in a form body for the benefit of sentient beings. So those are our three different ways to see the Buddha, and we can alternate them when we're doing meditation, and all three serve to really inspire us and invigorate us in our practice.